My Bioblitz kicked off with hedgerows, ants, cormorants, tits, wild swims, chicks and camera traps, and this morning it was all about dawn. A classic situation where the sat-nav says we're here and we're not. Lovely. Some of the darkest, deepest countryside ever. And now I'm a bit lost, but it's all good. It's all good in the hood. Birdsong is absolutely ridiculous.
Walk northeast.
Oh, what a map. I think I made it. Oh man, it's muddy. Navigational mishaps aside, I was being pulled into the woods by the most intoxicating birdsong I've ever heard. The birdsong is so loud. I've never heard a dawn chorus like it. The trees are just ringing with birds and life. Woodpeckers, I can hear blue tits, I can hear blackbirds. Song thrushes. It's beautiful. Now, even though it's not the sunniest of mornings, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all because you've just got this absolute orchestra of birdsong. Everything's waking up. It's about 6 o'clock and it is just this beautiful haven of ancient woodland on the edge of the moors, on the edge of Dartmoor, my local national park. Got all sorts of special flora which help support such a rich diversity of particularly bird life. I'm on the alert. I just heard a woodpecker. There are woodpeckers everywhere and there are so many trees here. Now, woodpeckers don't actually sing, but instead use a quick drum roll to announce their presence to rivals. Choosing a rotten hollow branch amplifies the sound and can be heard a long way away, which is probably why I was being led on a wild woodpecker chase. The trouble with woodpeckers is that their pecking ricochets and radiates throughout the woodland, so you think you're super close, but actually you've no idea where it is. Don't know whether it's a great spotted or a lesser spotted or whatever spotted. It feels like it's going that way. So I'm going to shut up now. But surely part of the fun of looking for wildlife is the thrill of the chase, and I always enjoy being kept on my toes. And you can always rely on a jackdaw to make an appearance to boost your species count. I could have easily spent the day here, but time was ticking and I had another very different reserve next on my list. I headed to Meath, an old clay quarry turned nature reserve, and I was eager to find out what species call this interesting landscape their home. It is like a mill pond out there. It's so gorgeous. It's amazing to think that with such industry and such sort of engineering of the landscape that quarrying does, that wildlife can still remain unperturbed and form strong communities and healthy populations. It just goes to show that, you know, we can live together and live close to each other in terms of us and wildlife, but if it's done in the right way, it can be really successful. Within a few minutes, I was being serenaded by a chaffinch, entertained by a blue tit, and charmed by an unmistakable blackcap. Interestingly, female chaffinches are the boss ladies in the summer, forcing the males to keep their distance around the breeding territory. Good on you, girls! Ah yes, as seems to be the theme with my Bioblitzes these days, I could not resist a quick hello and a slobbery kiss from my favourite conservation grazers, the Exmoor pony. Oh, I'm getting tired now. 24 hours is a long time to be active. My mind is like... But it's okay, because the next location is another area of woodland, different river. Stay tuned. Heading east and into some glorious Devon countryside, I went to my third nature reserve of the morning, in an ancient woodland valley by the River Team. Still on the fringes of Dartmoor National Park, Dunsford Woods offers a mosaic of habitat that encourages lots and lots of wildlife. Not quite the tiger of our woodlands, but fascinating nonetheless, as these guys are hermaphrodites blessed with both male and female bits, meaning that if the need arises, they can mate with themselves. The common butterfly is distinguished by its ragged winged edges, mimicking a dead leaf. And lastly, the rather beautiful demoiselle is just one of 2 species of damselfly in the UK with truly coloured wings. With time marching on, I swapped rural for urban and hopped on my bike into the city centre. So I've been to the wilds of Devon, I've been in deepest, darkest woodland, and I wanted to shake this Bioblitz up a little bit differently. I'm really curious to see what the wildlife's like in areas where it's busy, so in Devon's capital city of Exeter. So I'm here down at the quay, it's really busy, there's loads going on, loads of people, it's such a lovely day. And I'm actually so impressed because there's loads and loads of gulls, as you can see, but there's also cormorants. Now cormorants are a common seabird, but they're also one of our most impressive. You know, diving at crazy depths, having incredible adaptations to suit that diving hunting behaviour. It's really nice to see such an awesome seabird right here in the middle of the city. Could not believe my luck and was soon completely buzzing when I noticed a mother mute swan tending to 7 massive eggs in her nest. Both sexes incubate the eggs, which hatch after 35 to 41 days. The cygnets may then remain with both parents for up to 5 months after hatching. Commonly mistaken as purely black, starlings actually have a stunning iridescent plumage, which is really rather quite spectacular. Even if you live in the middle of a city, don't think that you can't ever have close... Oh, I've got a fly in my eye, I've got a fly in my eye. Doesn't mean that you can't have rich or multiple encounters with wildlife. So if getting to the coast isn't that easy for you, then you can just come here, stay in the city, see cormorants right here. What more could you want? With just 1 hour left, I whizzed back down to the coast to watch some shags and a gorgeous common shelduck with their distinctive chestnut belly stripe. So after a crazy day of bumbling all over Devon for hours and hours, miles and miles, I'm back to where I was last night to pick up my camera trap, and fingers crossed A, I can find it, and B, that it's still there, and C, that it got something good. Now, having long suspected this place as a fox den, I cannot tell you how pleased I was to capture such an intelligent and cunning mammal in a woodland on a morning forage just on the outskirts of my home. And to top it all off, a pair of rather flirtatious pheasants made an appearance, ironically daring to frolic right where the fox had just been. Well, I can safely say, after driving loads and loads of miles, visiting deepest, darkest Devon, exploring my home county for all it's worth to find as much wildlife as I can, I think I've pretty much rinsed it. I am exhausted, but I've had such a great 24 hours. I think that is time up. Wherever you can, try and get outside, try and explore what's around you, revisit familiar areas, but with your ears and your eyes open this time. And try and spot some spring activity because it is everywhere at the moment, people. Everywhere. Over and out.